Vladimir Putin authorized operations during the election to denigrate you, support President Trump, undermine our elections, divide our society. What price must he pay?
He will pay a price. We had a long talk, he and I. I know him relatively well, and the conversation started off. I said, I know you and you know me. If I establish this occurred, then be prepared.
You said you know he doesn't have a soul.
I did say that to him, yes. And his response was, we understand one another. I wasn't being a wise guy. I was alone with him in his office. That's how it came about. It was when President Bush had said, I've looked in his eyes and saw a soul. I said, looked in your eyes, and I don't think you have a soul. And looked back at me and said, we understand each other. Look, most important thing dealing with foreign leaders, in my experience, and I've dealt with an awful lot of them over my career, is just know the other guy.
So you know Vladimir Putin. You think he's a killer?
Mm-hmm. I do.
It's President Biden in a new ABC interview talking about the intelligence assessment on foreign interference into the 2020 election that was declassified yesterday. Leading up to the election, senior Trump administration officials claimed China was looking to hurt President Trump's re-election chances. But the newly released assessment says China stayed out of the election, but Russia and Iran did not. According to the report, Russian President Vladimir Putin authorized, quote, influence operations aimed at denigrating President Biden's candidacy and the Democratic Party, supporting former President Trump, undermining public confidence in the electoral process, and exacerbating socio-political divisions in the United States. Meanwhile, China, quote, considered but did not deploy influence efforts intended to change the outcome of the U.S. presidential election. Iran intended to undercut former President Trump's re-election prospects, according to the report, though without directly promoting Joe Biden. According to the intelligence assessment, a key figure in the Russian arm of election interference was Andriy Derkach, a Ukrainian parliamentarian with ties to Russian intelligence who regularly spoke with President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani. Derkach worked alongside Konstantin Kilimnik, a former associate of Trump's 2016 campaign manager, Paul Manafort, and made contact with established U.S. media figures to help produce a documentary that aired in January 2020 on an American news network, which appears to be a reference to the One America News Network documentary titled The Ukraine Hoax. The assessment found no foreign actor tried to hack voting software or machines. Joining us now, member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, Democratic Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger of Virginia. She served as a case officer with the CIA before running for office. Congresswoman, it's good to see you this morning. A lot in this comprehensive report. What jumps out to you?
So a couple things jump out at me when I read this, again, as a former intelligence officer, now as a member of Congress. In reading this report, I think every American and certainly every elected official should be angered and horrified at the clear attempt by the Russians at the direction of Vladimir Putin to influence our elections, to influence the American people, and to sow division in our society and in our country, and to create distrust in the very foundation of our democracy, which is our electoral system.
Are you surprised, Congresswoman, how easy it was, again, for the Russian government to find stooges, forgive the term, I'm sure you have a more specific or a more artful one, to work with the Russian government to help undermine Joe Biden? People like Rudy Giuliani, even some members of the United States Senate.
I'm not surprised at all. And what we see in this unclassified report is that a key finding, I believe it's key judgment number 2, is that the Russians endeavored to find individuals who would carry this message, who would give it validity, who would give it purpose, who would give it strength. And those individuals are members of the United States government, members of the United States media, people with a voice and a position of power. When they convey these Russian propaganda ideas, people listen, and this is dangerous. And I think that we are all now clearly on notice that this is happening. It has happened for years, right? We knew it after the 2016 election, and arguably people kept carrying the water for Russian propaganda. But this report makes plain that anyone who is continuing to push these Russian-backed information is doing the bidding of Vladimir Putin. And my hope and expectation is that everyone will be very, very careful to not do that into the future. It's un-American and it's frankly dangerous.
Hey, thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. You can follow up on today's top stories and breaking news, or catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.